Roger, thank you. Rennie, thank you. I've been sitting here listening to these speeches for 2 hours, and I think the smartest thing I can do is just yield the balance of my time to John Kamak. Rennie, that I can't read. I want to begin by thanking, first of all, the first thing I want to say is something about Roger. I was up here about 2 weeks ago, and it was the first night of the NCAA tournament, and girls' Final Four is going on in Troy, boys' Final Four is going on in Binghamton. I'm in my hotel room, and I'm watching News Channel 13, and this is no joke. You guys had a 10-minute sportscast that night, 5 minutes of high school boys basketball, 5 minutes of high school girls basketball, no NCAA, no NBA, no NHL. You did what mattered to the Capital Region. Shout out to Roger because he's gotten it right for about 39 years. Rennie, thank you. Your committee, all the wonderful people who have made this Hall of Fame a reality, something we're all so proud of. It's incredible. I didn't know what was coming tonight. This is so much better than what I expected. Rennie, thank you so much. Congratulations to you on your vision and what you've done here. I had a lot of things I cut out of the speech, not because of the 10-minute time limit. I just got told I did not go in as a player. So just if there's any confusion, if you look at page 2 of your program, when it says my name and Miami Heat, no, I do not play for the Miami Heat, just so everyone knows. I say this part proudly. This is no joke. I'm the luckiest person alive. I absolutely am. I've gotten to see the world because of this game, the greatest game ever invented. 12 Olympics, not 11. Italy will be 13 next year. I was wishing for Placid, but it's Italy instead. The NBA Finals, the All-Star Game, 2 basketball World Cups. There's this guy, Lionel Messi, in Miami now who we get to cover, which is a lot of fun, and it's even taken me to the gym in Indiana where they shot the movie Hoosiers, and I lit up that court last year, and there is video evidence of that. I could never play, but I could always shoot. I can still shoot a little bit. So there's video proof. If anybody wants to see it, I'm happy to text you a copy. It's out there. This journey has taken me to Bob Belber's incredible arena that I still call the Nick, to Maxey Hall in Potsdam when Potsdam basketball was my religion, to the Civic Center in Glens Falls, I still call it that too, to Madison Square Garden, to the Carrier Dome, and so many high school gyms in this state of ours, I can't count them all up. I've seen some stuff. Ray Allen's 3 in Game 6 of the 2013 finals. I was there covering the game the night LeBron scored 61. I've seen Caitlin Clark play. I saw Steph Curry go wild in Paris for us last summer to win Olympic gold against France in the gold medal game. I covered this game in China. I've covered it in the Middle East. I swam in the Persian Gulf before a World Cup game there once, and I was in the bubble. I like to say I spent 94 nights in a Disney prison. The bubble was special. I hope it never happens again. And I got to ring in my 50th birthday in Manila a couple of years ago at another World Cup at a dinner that night with a Filipino-American coach named Eric Spoelstra. I've been lucky to see it all. I've seen a lot. I never thought I'd see this. I never thought I'd see myself going into a Hall of Fame. I want to say something to my fellow members of the class of 25, my new teammates, if you will. I know exactly what you're all feeling right now, and in case any of you are wondering what this night means, think about it this way. Everybody who matters to us and everybody who knows about what's happening to us tonight is happy as hell right now for us. And I want to thank them for that. And that's the power of this game. It touches lives. Thank you. I'm not here to debate which Hall of Fame class is the best, but our class, this class, we've got everything. We've got players, we've got coaches, we've got referees, God bless the referees, and we've got a writer to keep track of it all. This team I'm on tonight, it's already my favorite, and I'm so honored to go into the hall alongside all of you. For a guy who writes stories for a living, I couldn't make this one up. I'm a kid from a tiny town called Indian Lake. When I played there, we had a 59-foot gym, 59-foot long. The three-point line did not come close to the corner, I promise you. A kid from there grows up and gets to see the world because of the game he learned on that 59-foot floor. It doesn't make sense to me either, I promise you. I've counted them up, and I've either met or interviewed 90 people who are in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I've met 3 presidents because of this game. I knew Kobe Bryant, God rest he and Gigi's souls. Shaquille O'Neal bit me once. If you want the story, find me after. And for the last 23 years, I've had the good fortune of covering a little team in Miami they call the Heat. Eric Spoelstra, Mickey Arison, Andy Ellisberg, and of course, a guy you've heard of by the name of Patrick James Riley. But before I talk about Pat, I got to keep with the theme of the night. I want to say a few words about Barry Kramer. I only met Judge Kramer once, but I can say this, if not for him, I'm not here. And I can say that, somebody just got an alert about who won the Masters. Rennie, don't tell me. Don't tell me. If there was no Barry Kramer, there'd be no Pat Riley. And Pat said that. Pat worshiped Barry. Barry was his rival. Pat loves rivalry, loves rivals. He was who Pat aspired to be. They'd go one-on-one, and Barry would beat the hell out of Pat. In Judge Kramer's later years, he might have called that assault. But it made Pat the player that he was. It turned him into a tough player. That turned him into a tough coach. That turned him into a tough executive. And all that made the Heat what the Heat are. And so if the Heat weren't the Heat, I wouldn't have gotten as many of the opportunities that I've gotten to cover this game. So thank you, Barry Kramer. You've touched a lot of lives in this room, including mine. Thank you, sir. I work for the Associated Press. My primary job is I'm the national NBA writer. I spend a lot of the day-to-day covering the Heat, and it's never been boring. Every time I drive to the arena, and I mean this every single time, I've probably driven there 1,000 times for games, I think about how some people never get to go to an NBA game. Or maybe they're just going there that night for their one and only time. You see the excitement on their faces, and you feel the joy, and you get reminded that this is the greatest game in the world. And as somebody who has seen this game all over the world, basketball here in New York is the best there is. It's our game. Look at the legacy the Empire State has made on this game. The Knicks, Jim Boeheim, and the NCAA should give him his wins back, by the way. Sue Bird, Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Jimmer Fredette and JG3 in Glens Falls, Jack Curran, Archbishop Malloy, Chris Mullen, and a guy named Lou Alcindor before he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. People forget Julius Erving was born in our state. Michael Jordan says he's from North Carolina. He was born in New York City. So was Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony, who I was there in 2003 when Bob Belber made that happen. Got the NCAAs there. Bernard King, Bob Lanier, Bob Cousy, Sam Perkins, Kenny Anderson, Mark Jackson, Tina Charles, Brianna Stewart, Jen Rosati, Doug Moe. And you know damn well I'm not leaving Kevin Huerter off this list as sons of the state, sons and daughters of the state of New York and what they've given to the game of basketball. I'm going to put up our state against any other when it comes to basketball royalty, which makes tonight even more surreal to me. Like everybody, I've got some thank yous to make. One's at my table tonight. Nora Harrington and her husband Dave. It's Nora's birthday today, and she's spending it here. Thank you, Nora. My English teacher, I might use a skill or two that she taught me in my professional life. I think it's possible. She failed me in one class in high school, creative writing. I'm not kidding. I thought everything I wrote stunk, so I wouldn't hand them in. She had no choice but to fail me. Remember what you gave me for a grade? I know, 47. There are people in this room who scored 47 in a game. I got mine in English class, people. And here I am as a writer. Go figure. I have to thank my editors at the AP, Ricardo Zuniga and Oscar Dixon, who have given me so many opportunities. I have to thank the Heat organization and their sports media relations staff, the best in the business. And they're all people who I respect so much and I'm so happy to call my friends. The NBA communications team, all of them first class, so happy to deal with them. My AP colleagues, the media teams all over the NBA, anyone who coached me or tried to teach me anything, thank you. Our dear friends Harlan and Randy Selznick, thank you. My friends Mark Kestisher and Sam Zulo, thank you for being here tonight. Anyone I've ever played with. CJ, for example. I haven't seen this guy in 30 years. He comes up to me and he goes, we used to play against each other. It's amazing how small this world is when you have this game behind you. So good seeing you, my guy. My friends at USA Basketball, thank you. And the players and coaches that I've dealt with, that I get to deal with, that it's not dealing, that I get to work with. The players in the NBA and even the superstars, they're so generous with their time. LeBron James, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, Doc Rivers, Grant Hill, Shaq, Commissioner Silver. They make the time, and I appreciate it so much. I was interviewing Aisha and Stephen Curry at All-Star Weekend in San Francisco this year. And that happened about 10 minutes after I made a phone call to a guy named Steve Babiars to talk a little bit about Jerry Welsh. And I'm going to be honest, I love Steph, but it was a thrill to talk to Steve Babiars that day, man. It was. Steph might be my favorite guard in the world, but let me tell you, 14-year-old me wanted to be Steve Babiars. And then I went to a game at Maxey Hall and watched Steve Babiars play, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be Steve Babiars. I got to tell you a quick story about when I fell in love with the game. Rennie, don't worry, I'm wrapping up. You told me I could go long. You called. I was 6 years old. I'm in first grade. My grandmother was the second grade teacher at our school, and I used to go into school with her every morning around 6:45, 7 o'clock, about an hour before the first bell. She had this little ball, this brown ball in her room. I think it was a handball. I don't think it was a volleyball. It wasn't a basketball, but it's what I had. And I'd go down to the gym every morning. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. And I'd shoot. And the ball didn't make a lot of noise when it hit the floor, thankfully, which was the key because I'm not supposed to be in there unsupervised. And then one day I got busted. I can still hear the jingle of those keys coming at me. It was a custodian at our school named John Feeney. John Feeney was probably 150 pounds, and 100 of it were the keys on his side. You know those key rings? He comes into the gym. He sees me. I freeze. I know I'm in trouble. He walks the 59 feet down to me. He doesn't say a word, takes the ball out of my hands, and says, try it like this. And he shows me where to put my hands on the basketball to shoot overhand. Because believe it or not, I was once a little guy, and I was shooting underhand then. He shows me where to put my hands, and he shows me the corner of the backboard, shows me the box on the backboard, and says, aim there, try to hit it off the backboard and see what happens. And I probably threw it as hard as I could, and I swear to God, I can still hear the swish of that ball going through the net. And that's the day I fell in love with the game of basketball. This isn't hyperbole when I say this, and a lot of us in this room, if we think about it, we can say the same thing. Everything that I have, everything that I am, and everything that I've done is because of this game. I graduated from Indian Lake when I was 15, and I went to North Country Community College. I played soccer there at 15. Had a little knee thing happen that winter, so I didn't play basketball there like I planned. I'd also done some scrimmaging with the basketball team, and I realized I was not going to play basketball there like I planned, but that's officially we're calling it the knee injury. So knowing I couldn't play, I became a student assistant coach on the women's basketball team. And a couple years later, I parlayed that into an assistant job at Castleton State, what they call Castleton University, just over the border in Vermont. For some reason, I start typing up game notes, media game notes about our team. We had no media. We had nobody who was ever going to read these. And I started doing the stats and the notes and all these trends about our team and having them at every game just in case any reporters ever showed up. A few months after that, in August of '91, I'm just about to turn 18, and I go to the Post-Star in Glens Falls, and I apply for a $54 a week sports writing job. And the sports editor there was a guy named Ken Tingley, and he said to me, do you have any writing samples? And all I had was those game notes. And I got hired, and a career started because of those notes. That was 33 and a half years ago. Those game notes got me that job. They took me to Glens Falls and then papers all around the North Country, in Albany, and been in Miami since 2001. My last paper here was the Times-Union. The Times-Union is where I met Linda. Our adventure has gone on since 1999. We got married in 2001. Basketball gave me the crazy idea to write those game notes, and look what I got out of the deal. a career that's still going, a memory bank that's overflowing, a bunch of NBA finals, 3 title rides with the Heat, the chance to play Augusta National a few years ago, which I'm compelled to say today on Masters Sunday. But most of all, and best of all, I got my bride out of the deal. It gave me everything. It gave me my life, it gave me my wife, and it gave me this night. So thank you all. God bless you all. God bless this Hall of Fame. Thank you all for listening. Have a great night.